I hope you're all having a wonderful Christmas today. But alternatively, if you're watching from the future or you just simply don't celebrate Christmas for your own reasons, welcome to my review of the first Christmas event character of 2022, Nutcracker Silver, in Sonic Forces Speed Battle. We've already covered Silver and his game lore origins in the original character's review, so let's not beat around the bush here in describing who Silver is and what he does. Instead, let me just say that this is Silver wearing a Nutcracker costume to celebrate the holiday season. Without further ado, let's hop into this review with a quick stat check. Nutcracker Silver stands at the special rarity with a 10 out of 10 speed stat, a 5 out of 10 acceleration stat, and an 8 out of 10 strength stat. Comparing these stats to the original 6 out of 10 across the board Silver, these stats are insanely good. Nutcracker Silver is super fast and tanky, even if you may struggle to pick up the speed at times. He can reasonably eat most attacks in the game and still keep up his spot in either 2nd or 3rd place, refusing to tumble all the way back into 4th like most fast characters tend to do. So all in all, a super formidable set of stats that seriously help Nutcracker Silver stand out. Now, as we've covered Nutcracker Silver's stats, let's dive into the kit of what Nutcracker Silver is able to bring to the table. Nutcracker Silver's projectile is the Psychic Surprise. Basically, Silver summons a lingering projectile that slowly reaches further and further away from him before bolting off in a single lane. What's more is that while you're holding on to the Psychic Surprise, you can change which lane it shoots off into by sidestepping, making this projectile also act as a sort of battering ram at times. Although it can't phase through environmental hazards, this projectile has to be one of the most useful projectiles I've ever used in the entire game. You can either use it to quickly slap an opponent out the way, snipe someone from a long distance, and even combo it after you freeze someone with Silver's trap. Hell, you can even use it after someone hits you to drag them down with you. Psychic Surprise is absolutely nuts, and it has so much utility and offensive value for such a simple concept. As for Silver's boost, he gets the Jingle Boost. Now, the description of this power-up really doesn't do it justice, so let me explain it in my own way. Not only does Silver get an extremely fast boost of speed and freeze enemies who touch him during its usage, Silver is unable to take damage while the boost is active. So not only is this boost fast and offensive, it is practically invincible from almost everything in the game except for falling off the track. The fact that Nutcracker Silver just outright has an invincible ice boost is mind-boggling, and just it elevates Silver's viability against the likes of Mephiles and Infinite. Overall, an honestly overpowered boost for Nutcracker Silver's toolset. And lastly, Nutcracker Silver's trap is the Ice Mine. We've seen the Ice Mine countless times, but in case you haven't, it's simply a mine that freezes enemies through multiple lanes. While mediocre on its own, the combo potential for this trap and Psychic Surprise make it one of the most potent part of Silver's kit. While not a good or bad trap in its own right, it can be used to benefit Nutcracker Silver's kit in a way that makes it work for Nutcracker Silver's benefit against his foes. Now that we've covered Nutcracker Silver's stats and kit, let's dive right into my final verdict and character rating for Nutcracker Silver. Although he doesn't appear to be a super strong character, Nutcracker Silver is that and more. Combining his speed, utility and defensive capability gives me more than enough reasoning to give Nutcracker Silver a perfect 10 out of 10 character rating. While at a glance his acceleration stat is his biggest flaw, it's hardly noticeable when Silver is almost always keeping his enemies behind him with his powerful kit and speed. And even if his enemies strike him down, Psychic Surprise acts as his way of saying, if I'm going down, you're coming with me. During my time with Silver, I was absolutely flabbergasted. Comparing Nutcracker Silver with the normal common Silver is like night and day of how viable they are online. Now, Nutcracker Silver definitely isn't borderline broken like Mephiles, but everything just lands and works perfectly well with one another that founds Nutcracker Silver as one of the higher tier characters you can get in Sonic Forces Speed Battle. Should he return next Christmas Eve or appear in another rapid recap, I highly suggest you grab him and feed him some levels. For a Silver basking in the Christmas spirit, he sure is one menacing gift for players on the naughty list this year. But yeah, see how you feel Nutcracker Silver if you have him? He's well worth the time and effort, but also a pretty fun character in his own right.